Hey guys, Final here. Before I sound like an advertising bot, I'm going to tell you right now, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody around the world. I hope that you get to spend it with your family and loved ones and everything like that. But what I'm going to sound like a bot for now is, if you have nothing to do for those holidays, you can come join the Discord community that I have, Community. Yeah, that one. And you could fucking have some fun, hang out, be cool with each other. That shit's gonna be in the link down below, so to get that out of your goddamn face, let's just get on with the video. Starting off of what I should have stated earlier, this will only be covering volumes 1 through 4 of Kingdom Hearts 1 in the manga. I'll be going over maybe more if people like this. If not, then I'm probably not going to. But I'm only going to be showing the pages that are completely different from the original in the game and stuff that is completely just out of whack in left field. So yeah, I hope that you guys are going to like this because some of these things are actually really fucked up and really interesting. And what I mean by things being fucked up and interesting, I mean things like this. It's literally a fucking prostitute asking to have sex with Sora. And the reason for why this is, well, if you didn't know, the age consent is 13 in Japan, and it's probably why this was capable of being published. So yeah, really weird for us here in America, right? Anyways, just to point that out, in the other version of this book, which is the one that I have, she ends up saying to Sora, "Hi, little boy." I'm not even fucking joking. I'll put it up on screen. Yeah, really weird, right? But I mean, hey, at least the Heartless ends up running up behind her and taking out her heart and exploding it in front of Sora, freaking him the hell out. This game's supposed to be rated E for everybody, but the manga version, this man just said, yeah, my hands are rated E for everyone, motherfucker. But even later, the context gets even more crazy because Donald ends up explaining that two truths cannot coexist, meaning every world is its own universe, and that all the laws in every universe are completely different from each other. You can even see the difference between how the boss fights go, how Trickmaster ends up splitting his head open to dodge attacks, or how Sora has to talk to Donald and Goofy in order to use the Keyblade correctly, which is way more contextual than it is in the video game. Hell, they even go over the fact that the Keyblade is sentient, and Merlin is explaining that all of creation will cease to exist if they don't end up doing their job, and he actually ends up teaching Sora magic instead of Sora learning it on his own. But if we jump over to Agrabah, we see Maleficent and Jafar talking, and Maleficent asked him if he ended up wiping out the population. Yeah, way more sinister this time around with the context given. But we could also see in this image that Sora uses the Keyblade kind of like a metal detector to find out the keyhole in the world, and we could also see Jafar talking to Genie about how he's omnipotent, meaning that Genie is the strongest one in that universe, explaining the fact that they are not planets, they are actually individual universes. And then, yep, you know it, Jafar ends up asking Genie to create him as his equal in omnipotency as well, and he ends up actually blowing up the entire planet this time. Even the next page, he ends up talking about how he can control all of his reality. So, not only is it just maybe a universe, it's probably an entirely different reality. And yes, those things are two different things, and I will show you because there is different levels of reality and there is multiple different universes. That's why they're called a multiverse. But going back onto the gummy ship, we see Sora talking to Sid, and he's gonna fax over the Ansem reports that he's gotten so far, because it's not decipherable, and maybe it's Scala language or not, I don't know. They probably never thought that far or anything like that. We also see Donald saying, "God damn it," which is Disney's no-go zone because I don't know why, but that would have been cool as shit. Something else that is weird is that the Heartless are actually capturing the princesses over the multiverse, and it's not Riku this time, which is really odd. They also end up going to Olympus, and Jiminy ends up explaining that warriors from all over the multiverse end up going here to fight in a martial arts tournament, and it's really odd because you'd think you'd hear something like that in Dragon Ball instead of just a warriors match. I just wanted to add this because I thought it was really funny. Phil almost ends up calling Sora a weak piece of shit, and his expression just says it all, dude. Another cuss word that we're about to get into is the Disney no-go zone, like I was talking about, but this one is the, oh shit, you're getting canceled. Yeah, Hades ends up calling Maleficent a bitch. It's stupid, but I'm adding it anyways. But going back to our main man Sora, we end up seeing that he killed the immortal dog Cerberus in one hit somehow, And he also spells his name wrong. Don't know how the fuck they did that. And I also don't know why this is in color because I couldn't find the gray page for it, so we're shit out of luck. Moving into Atlantica, we actually see Ursula hurting King Trident this time, and he's actually saying, "Damn you, you witch." And she ends up turning him into a polyp. If you don't know what the fuck that is, here's a definition. And this is actually what happens to all these guys as well, all the other mermaids that were there. And you can see that Sora actually acknowledges that they're all turned into these things, unlike in the games where he just ends up walking past it pretty much without any context given. They even go as far as pretty much telling Sora that he's a pervert for going into a girl's room, grabbing the Ansem report, the thing that they needed. Even though it's at the bottom of the ocean, they somehow still fax this shit over to Sid. But I guess Sora's labeled as a multiversal man whore because he likes Disney bitches. I mean, I'm just kidding. But actually, we're going to be making a big jump here. We're going to go to the part where Maleficent and Riku are talking, and Riku is supposed to be giving her more power of darkness so she turns into a dragon. But into this iteration, he just straight up murders her and she just explodes and dies in pain, which is super fucked up. Honestly, even with this part, with Sora killing himself is even more fucked up because he tells Donald and Goofy that there will always be a way with you two around and that he doesn't need to be there at all, and then he kills himself. But, I don't know, 13 pages later, they somehow mess this up by it not being sentimental anymore, and they call Sora a small calf, and then they end up having Kairi hugging him really awkwardly, and it's kind of like, Kairi, what are you gonna end up doing to that heartless? Anyway, Sora's back now, and he's going to go and whoop some ass, and he just needed a magical Disney princess hug, and that's what brought him back, and he pretty much just told God to fuck off, and he's gonna go do what he does best. And that's our boy giving off that great-ass speech talking about let's go kill Ansem, and let's go kill all the Heartless in one go, even though there's an infinite number of them. But even the princesses even say that in a distant universe, space and time has ripped open and it is seeping out darkness everywhere, which is the end of the world. They end up reaching the end of the world, and Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up realizing that every piece on the ground is actually another universe in all of existence, all shattered and broken here. They also realize that there's an infinite number of Heartless because the end of the world is actually infinite in size. And they also see that there is linked worlds, and no, not that goddamn video game. But this link between worlds is because all the universes are connected at this state, and they're actually plunging into darkness. After all that, Sora ends up fighting Ansem and beating him and setting up that badass speech like he always does at the end of the game. Not only is that the same thing, he also ends up closing the door, going separate ways with him and his best friend, and he ends up seeing Mickey, and Mickey is different for some reason. He has a fucking shirt on! El Manga, ratio, out of my sight. Why is this continuity wrong? Don't understand it. This man is supposed to be shirtless at the end of KH1. Liars. Anyways, so moving on, it's pretty much just the same at the end, and everything just goes back to normal, and we get that somber, sweet ending of everything concluding, and we also get to see that Kairi is going back to her home world. Everything seemingly turns out to be normal again, and she ends up seeing inside of the cave that Sora wants to go share the Paopu fruit with Kairi. That's pretty much the end. A couple of things that I want to go over before finishing off this video. I wanted to say that I didn't go over Neverland, I didn't go over Monstro, and I didn't go over Winnie the Pooh because they weren't really necessary. Things that weren't in here is that Halloween Town actually wasn't a part of the manga at all, because I don't know why. They still had the rights to it. Tarzan, they lost the rights to, which was really unfortunate, because that would have been really cool to see. And then the Dalmatians weren't also in there, which was really, really weird to me. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to go over that with you guys, because it's probably something you'd probably question about. And I thought this was really cool, because a lot of people don't know about the manga, but if you guys liked it, let me know, and I'm going to give you a little taste of what's in store for the next book if you wanted me to make a video about Chain of Memories' book side, because there's only 2 books, so I can go over that. So yeah, that's about it. Final out, man.